So, good morning, and warm welcome to everyone. So, I hope that this time together can offer some support, some encouragement to you in your practice, and encourage you to just take the opportunity to pause from activities of the day and really find a posture in which the body can settle to some degree. You can remain relatively still for a while and be standing, or sitting, lying down, whatever feels most appropriate. And this very powerful, very potent action of pausing from activity to more directly and intimately encounter our experience as it actually is. Meeting or learning to meet our experience in ways that are, among other things, kind and compassionate. It's been the theme for this week. So many things could be said, such a great, broad and deep theme. As all the Dharma themes are pointing to this great potential of our mind and heart for greatness and for a kind of deep well-being, not so connected with the ups and the downs and the difficulties and the joys, has a deeper base in the mind. The mind comes home to itself. The heart comes home to itself. And from here we can live with greater ease and compassion. So taking a few moments to really feel the body resting where it is. Be taking a few deeper breaths, and on the out breath, the sense of relaxing or letting go a little bit, opening to awareness, this quite miraculous thing that's happening, a non-thing, this or knowing. There is knowing of body. What is that direct felt sense or cluster of senses that tells us there is a body? And can we ask that question with kindness and compassion, with a sense of care for whatever is felt, is known in this direct experience? And perhaps opening to how the heart mind is. Is it flurried or agitated or kind of soggy, dull? Is it sort of flittering? So lots of thought or kind of vacancy. Just noticing whatever we can directly perceive in our experience, beginning to be interested. This morning I want to just point to maybe some of the many conditions that can support compassion, its expression in our thoughts and words and deeds. And perhaps one way is this cultivation of interest, a kind, non-judgmental, non-demanding, receptive interest in what is actually happening here and now. That could be a possible one definition of mindfulness, this practice of this kind of enriched awareness, imbued with kindness and compassion, or many other qualities which begin to surface as we pause with this intention of kindness, of friendliness, of compassion, metta karuna, the Pali language, close to the language the Buddha used. Kind of unconditional friendliness and care, which is a natural capacity for a human being. And so often, at least in my experience, we get caught up with resistance and kind of punitive, vengeful, resentful, all these things that are not so not so bringing of ease, bringing of benefit to ourselves and others. And I think so much of this practice is about encountering what is difficult and letting that be, so like I said in one of the other reflections this week, letting that be a condition for the cultivation of kindness, friendliness. At its very root, like mindfulness and metta and compassion all have one of the roots is in this non-aversion, this to whatever is occurring in our experience. And so such a strong conditioning, isn't there, to react to what is difficult. Want to get away from it, want to get rid of it. And compassion is this very, on some level, counterintuitive turning towards, meeting directly, embracing. Part of us is going, what? No, yeah, gotta be kidding, So finding out that little by little, or maybe remembering this is an approach quality, it's an embracing quality, has this capacity to hold with tenderness whatever is hurting, difficult. And I don't know what your experience is, but a heart that opens to compassion is a heart that can more easily open to joy. So to embrace, to be present in a steady way with what is difficult can be, again, a condition for the arising of joy. Strange, but yeah, check it out. So as we sit here, just noticing your body, your mind, words, and having a sense of allowing it all to arise and pass. Maybe there's something helpful for you in your practice or in your life. But also just using this opportunity to be together with others, also practicing, with also wanting to promote their own and others' well-being, wish to protect life, wish to have a flourishing sense of well-being. So what supports more compassionate responsiveness, this simple presence in the body, sitting, standing, starting from here. Many other places you could start, but this is one. And opening out. The simplest level of mindfulness, perhaps, of bare knowing of what's happening now. What are ideas about it? Again, this kind, receptive awareness and interest in which we can learn gently, gradually. We can learn what is needed. Another support to the cultivation of compassion is some version of this question, this discernment, this investigation of what is helpful, what is needed. We could say what is skillful or unskillful, or right now as you sit, what would help, the calming, the clarifying. And sometimes, we have to wait for a while. Sometimes just asking the question helps. You see, I could soften the belly a little bit. Relax the shoulders a little bit. Okay, that helps. What's unhelpful? Just really just caught in a thought loop about fill in the blank. So helpful. Maybe not. Something important there to understand, but going round and round and round in that, maybe not so helpful. So let me come back to the body, open to seeing or hearing. And then check it out, noticing. And sometimes, again, we have to be very, very patient. Don't necessarily get the immediate, instant shift that we're looking for. We can sense this is a deep kind of capacity in a human being as well. We can learn, can practice this understanding that's needed right now. It's actually helpful. It may not be the first idea that jumps into the mind, the second or the third. Pausing inwardly, outwardly. So supports for the arising of compassion. I'm just mentioning a few, the practice of mindfulness, of bare awareness, it's knowing what's happening here and now. This practice of receptive, kind interest in our experience. This inquiry or discernment about what's helpful, what's needed. And the last thing I want to mention is kind of a more practical when we're in our life, maybe, doing activities or tasks or work or relating with others in some way or another. And where we feel there's a kind of sense of some more support, something more needed in that area of life, like a particular relationship, and finding like what I think of as good medicine, like appropriate, feels relevant for you, makes sense. So for example, patience. And then taking care of that intention as a very practical kind of way of cultivating compassion. So there's some difficulty in a particular relationship, and then making the experiment to see what happens, what does it change, internally, externally, if I keep remembering taking care of this very specific intention, which might be patience, might be courage, it might be boundaries, wise boundaries. It might be for you to really look into this particular area of your life, see what's needed here, and finding something that feels relevant and alive for you. And just to see, maybe you already do this. I find this hugely helpful. Like sort of very specific, relevant, appropriate, something that you need to find for yourself. So this gesture of our own wisdom, discernment coming together with what's difficult, what feels challenging. It's maybe not the same for everybody. So I hope there's something helpful in all of that. Maybe just pausing before we close. Maybe just reflecting a bit on some of the things I've mentioned. If there's anything you want to remember and practice during the day. So I think we'll pause there for now, and really wish you well with everything. May our practice be deeply for our benefit and welfare, and for the welfare of all beings everywhere. So I'll be away on retreat next week. So Chaz will be with you for all the mornings, Monday to Friday, and then I'll be back the following Monday. So yeah, take care and see you later.